Hi, No Offense, and welcome to the first episode of Life Stories. Today's story, I'm going to tell you about the first time I punched my teacher in the face. This happened in 2012, in English class, with Mr. Schmiller, or as we like to call him, Mr. Shitstain. It was just like any other day. I was texting in the back of the class. I like to sit in the back so that the teacher does not call on me. And I'm texting my BFF, Jake, and my GFF, Stephanie. Mr. Schmiller sees me texting in the back. He says, "Hey, you in the back." I said, "Yes." He said, what do you got going on back there? We're not supposed to have our phones out in class, and I don't follow by those rules, so. But anyways, he calls me out. He says, is that your phone? He's like, bring that to me. I said, I'm not moving from this desk. I'm like, this is my phone. My parents bought this and gave it to me. He says, there are rules that you had to follow if you're going to be in my class. And I said, I'll leave. I don't like this class. I haven't learned one thing. And I said, that's partly because I haven't paid attention, but nonetheless, I'll gladly leave. He says, come up here right now. Getting very angry with me, agitated. And I'm also getting agitated because I'm in a really, really important conversation right now. I'm trying to find a ride from school. We're trying to grab some Dairy Queen after school, and it's very important. Otherwise, I'll have to go with someone else, and then I don't know where I'll be able to go after. So I'm a little worried that this guy, this piece of shit, might give me a detention, so I very politely get up, and I walk up to Mr. Schmiller, and I get up nice and close. I keep narrowing the gap between ourselves as he stands to the side of his desk. He extends his hand for the phone offering, which I do not want to partake in. So I keep my phone tightly gripped. He reaches for my arm and he tries to grab it. He says, this is my property now. You bring phones into my class. Now it's mine. I said, no, man. I'm like, not taking this phone. He says, give it to me. Give it to me right now. I said, no, you piece of shit. I'll rip your fucking head off. All right, you hear that? You hear that, you son of a bitch? And then he puts his hands around me. He tries to choke me. He squeezes my neck as tight as possible, but I've been working on my neck workout, so it's very strong, and it's hard to get his fat little hands around it. But anyways, he squeezes, and it's hard for me to talk, but I'm kind of like, fuck you. And then I take my hand, and I go, and I take it back, and I power up, and then I fire forward and punch him in his left face cheek, and he lets go because he's in pain. He kneels down with his hands on top of his head as I see a tear roll down his face. The whole class stood up and applauded and said, "You're my hero." I said, "I'm not a hero. I'm just a mere man." And I saluted them as I walked out. And instead of going to the principal's office, I just started to walk home because I didn't want them to call my parents. Thanks for watching this important story. Please subscribe, throw us a like. We'll do 15 likes, and then we'll throw out another life story.